guys, and welcome to 808 Coaster Life. Today I'll be answering you guys' questions that you asked me in my last community post and on my Instagram stories. If you're new to this channel and you love roller coasters and other theme park related stuff, please consider subscribing for quality coaster entertainment every 1 to 2 weeks. If you weren't able to ask me a question but you wanted to, that's okay. There will be more opportunities in the future. I have a smaller selection of questions, which means that I'll take more time on each question. Let's get into it. Exceller Coasters and Coaster Fusion both asked about my bucket list coasters. To answer Coaster Fusion's question, my number 1 bucket list coaster is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. I know. So original, but the layout looks absolutely incredible. To answer Exceller Coasters' question, some of my biggest bucket list coasters are Ajanica and Dododompa at Fuji-Q Highland, Zadra at Energylandia, and Karnan at Hansa Park. If you want to learn more detail on my top bucket list coasters, you can check out the card up there. Instagram user CA Thrills asked, "What's it like living in Hawaii?" There's definitely a sense of community. Maybe because we're living on islands. It is annoying that there's no coasters nearby, but there's a water park and a fair, except the fair got canceled this year. There's really only 2 distinct seasons. Summer, which can be very hot, and winter, which can be kinda cold. CoasterFan15 asked, "Is it hard to stay an enthusiast because, well, Hawaii?" Yes, you're right. It is hard being a coaster enthusiast when the nearest amusement park is across half an ocean, but there are multiple things that keep me an enthusiast. You guys' comments give me motivation. You guys give me good ideas that I never thought of before, and it's nice DMing or chatting with fellow enthusiasts. YouTube keeps me an enthusiast. I'm trying to find a workflow that balances YouTube with my personal life. Watching coaster YouTube videos and podcasts is also very entertaining. I also find little things that remind me of riding a roller coaster, such as getting airtime on speed bumps, or riding a scooter like you're riding a roller coaster, and listening to roller coaster soundtracks. My aunt asked, "Are there any new coaster innovations on the horizon that you are excited about?" I'll talk about 4. The main one is the SNS Axis coaster. I really like the concept of free spinning on the roll axis and how flexible the layouts can get. You basically can do anything with the axis. Another concept that not too many people bring up is the SBF Big Air. Basically, you're seated in a hamster wheel that free spins while the coaster goes through its course. It's a cheap and clonable model, but that doesn't stop it from being an intriguing ride model to me. B&M is also working on their Surf coaster, which is basically their take on a launch coaster. It'll be interesting seeing how B&M tackles this popular coaster type. Vekoma is also working on their next generation flying coaster. What makes this different is that the seats are able to rotate so that you are facing upright on the side of the track. This will allow it to go through dark ride sections before turning into coaster mode. The first installation will be Fly at Phantasialand, which from what I'm seeing is not too far from now. If you want to see more about my anticipated coaster models, check out the card up there. Instagram user Roller Coasters and Stuff asked, "If Pantheon can run reliable, do you think we could see Cedar Fair work with them again?" I'll say not yet, but they'll definitely consider it. If Pantheon, a complex ride system with a high-speed switch track, is able to run reliably, that will definitely be on Cedar Fair's radar. I could see Cedar Fair approaching New Intamin the same way they approached RMC. They let the manufacturer make a few versions of their model at other parks, they'll see how successful they do, and if it's a worthy investment, they'll go for it. Six Flags built 7 RMCs before Cedar Fair got their first batch. The Quacken asked, "After things get back to normal, will you travel to the US mainland for a coaster trip? If so, where would you like to go?" Definitely. The next park I'll visit is most likely Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's number 2 on my bucket list and it's in California and it has a great lineup of nearly 20 coasters. Cedar Point is number 1 on my bucket list of parks and I would love to go there sometime in the near future. If you want to see more of my top bucket list parks, you can check out the card up there. California's Great America is a nice park up in Northern California. I also really want to revisit Knott's Berry Farm because even after 2 days of visiting there, I don't think I got the full experience. I really want to get a ride on Calico Mine Ride as well as get some re-rides on the best coasters there, and I also need the kitty credit. There are some East Coast parks I'd love to visit, such as Hershey Park and Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and Florida is thriving in the theme park industry right now. But if you want me to visit a theme park sooner, please do your part in stopping this pandemic by wearing a mask when you're in public, staying 6 feet apart from other people, and washing your hands frequently. If you're doing those things, you're supporting this channel and also the coaster community as a whole. Next up, Novice asked, "What do you think of Six Flags over Texas?" The park's skyline looks incredible. I think it's one of the best skylines for a park I've ever seen. But besides that, I think it looks like an average Six Flags park. Some say it's underrated because their overall experience there exceeded expectations. It also has a good lineup of coasters including an RMC, a Giovanola Hyper, a Mr. Freeze clone, a Batman clone, and a Schwarzkopf Looper. He's also wondering about whether this Q&A will be live or not. It's not live, but I will also do a live stream in the near future. Coaster Hour asked, if you could make a themed ride to any IP, what would you theme it to? Since DC is very overused, I would like to see more Marvel themed coasters. We have Incredible Hulk, but I think there should be more coasters themed to the Avengers. I would also like to see an Avatar themed coaster. The series is getting a lot of buzz right now, so something like a Wing or a Blitz coaster would be a great fit for this theme. The coaster could even have slow sections for when the characters arrive at their destinations. Also, if you haven't already, consider giving Coaster Hour a sub while you're at it. He's a great channel. Instagram user Mid-Atlantic Coasters asked, what's your favorite airtime moment of all time? I haven't ridden much, but that'll have to go to Hang Time's drop in the back row. I went in expecting an average ride, but the drop really threw me off. Second place would have to go to Hang Time's airtime moment over the entrance. That was some of the best ejector airtime I've ever experienced. My brother asked, can you do a GP interview with the soccer team? So basically my brother Jensen is on this soccer team and I know all of them. I'll say this, if you can get enough people interested, then sure. Phantom Coasters asked, if you were given the opportunity to own an amusement park where all of the finance stuff was done by others and your only job was to decide the rides that would please both the enthusiasts and the general public, would you take the position? Assuming the answer is yes, what are a few rides you would add? I'll say yes, but it'll be difficult. I've tried to plan a Planet Coaster park for a long time, and it has been very difficult trying to decide the lineup for that park. I eventually scrapped the idea because it would probably make my computer very laggy. Some noteworthy rides I would include are a B&M Hyper for the crowds, an Intamin launch coaster for the Thusies, a Vekoma mine train in the style of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad for the families, a giant frisbee ride, a loopy flat ride, and a dark ride. By the way, Phantom Coasters is a great channel that I enjoy watching, so if you haven't checked him out yet, consider doing so. Instagram user British Coaster Enthusiast asked, what's the most intense coaster you've ridden? That'll have to go to my #1 coaster, Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm. This ride is filled with insane laterals, especially in the first turn and the final helix. There's also a lot of positives, and the sudden changes of direction add to the experience. Its wooden coaster smoothness also adds to the experience. Instagram user Kaanoi79 asked, where in Hawaii are you from? Maui. So that's all I got for the questions. I want to give a big thanks and shout out to anyone who asked me questions for this video. Again, if you missed it, that's okay. There will be more opportunities in the future. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a like on this video. And if you're new to this channel and you love roller coasters and other theme park related stuff, please consider subscribing for quality coaster entertainment every 1 to 2 weeks. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.